with this project, you're going to need 2 of the same image printed on Craft Attitude film with an inkjet printer, a pair of shoes that you can alter, and these are some little like fakey toms from Airwalk from Payless, crystals to embellish the skulls once they're on your shoes or whatever image you chose, a Crystyler 20 by Norma Rapko, and I'm using a Crystyler 20 because I have 20 SS crystals here. And this is available through Walnut Hollow at Michael's stores. And then Craft Attitude recommends that you use Elmer's glue for the glue stick to apply the Craft Attitude film to your project. And then I also have some wet embellishment glue here that I'm going to use for the crystals and perhaps for some glitter later to put on. And then also a good pair of scissors, so I have some Westcott scissors here. The first thing you want to do is cut out your images. So I'm just going to kind of loosely cut them out so that I can work with them a little better. And everything that shows is going to show on your shoe. So here, because this has a pink background, I don't want a pink background, so I'm going to try to cut as close to the actual black outline of the skull as I can. Once you've cut out your images, you're going to want to take your glue stick or whatever adhesive you're using, whether it's a spray adhesive, and you're going to want to coat this on the right side of the image all the way to each side. So I'm not going to put the glue back here. This is actually the back, and underneath here is the front, and then this part behind here is what's actually going to stick to the shoes. So you want to coat it with your adhesive and then let it set for a few minutes. Now, Shoe Attitude comes with a tube of this Elmer's extra strength glue stick in the package, so that's why I'm using this for the shoes. So while that's setting, I can go ahead and start getting my crystals ready. I have some of these flat back Preciosa pave style crystals. And they're in this really cool like iridescent color. So I don't need that many of them. I'm trying to think, I might do them on the eyes, and maybe one on each flower, and maybe one on the chin. So I need 5 for each thing. So the way you use the Crystyler, it's a little hard to see how you put the crystals in the Crystyler because you're looking vertically from my table, looking down. So it's hard to see how this works. But basically, you have your crystal, it's flat on the table, and you're going to have your Crystyler perfectly perpendicular to the table. So it's exactly straight up and down, and you're going to press it onto the crystal, and that's going to pick it up and put it into the tip of the Crystyler. As you press each crystal, it loads into this cylinder here, and once you get up to about right here, you want to stop, because that's where the little clicker engages to push this plunger downwards to push each crystal out. So if you have crystals up in here, the little clicker can't engage the plunger. So I'm just going to put exactly my number of crystals here into the Crystyler that I need, because I'm not going to use this color on another project soon. So I need 5 for each shoe. And then I like to do a little detail on the back usually of the shoes with some crystals. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do 6. I need 5 for the front, and then that 6th crystal is for the back. So you can't really see it in the cylinder here because there's only 12 crystals in here, and that's where it goes. So this will hold a good deal of crystals, like probably 40, 50 crystals in this size of Crystyler. I have the Crystyler 12 here with these amethyst colored crystals, and you can see how I got those crystals from another place that I bought them from. There's holes in the bag, and they're just these little cruddy lip and seal bags. The Crystyler crystals actually come with a little zippered bag, and you can restore them in here so they'll stay nice and neat. So I have some purple crystals here, these amethyst ones, because my daughter picked these out for her shoes as well. And I'm just, you know, for my colors of my design, I'm pulling from the colors of the shoes. There's a little bit of amethyst in here. There's a little bit of yellow and red, so that's how I can get the orange to work. And then this like crazy color here, I'm not even sure what this color's called. There's some blue in there and some black that'll work with that. So I'm going to go ahead and load up this Crystyler again while I'm waiting for my glue to get tacky. Now Crystyler 12 is a little bit trickier to use. I like to say Crystyler 20 is like a new pair of shoes. After the first time you wear them, you kind of got them worn in, you got them figured out. Crystyler 12 is like a pair of leather shoes. You got to wear them 5 or 6 times before they're comfy, before you're comfortable with them. The same with this. You've got to use it a few times before you actually kind of get the hang of it, because it's just not, it's not something out the gate that's intuitive. You know, for us, intuitive is holding this to the side and trying to click with it. Well, you've got to do it straight on vertically with this. So it is forgiving, but you know, I try to say the shoe analogy so that people don't try it right away and then you're upset that it didn't work right. Well, it just is something that takes a little bit getting used to. It's like the difference between if you've always driven an automatic car and now you're going to go drive one with a clutch. You've got to kind of think about it. You've got to be a little more conscious of what you're doing. So that's kind of how the Crystyler is. Once you get the hang of it, you're good to go. Alright, so these are nice and tacky. So what I'm going to do is just apply them right to the center front of my shoe here. And then peel the backing off. Now once I've peeled the backing off, I can really burnish this with my fingers into the fabric. So this actually looks like it was printed onto the shoe. Isn't that cool? And it's like not what you would think that, you know, you could do this quickly. So let's see. So I think you could do this with any kind of theme. You can do this with any kind of theme. You know, you want to do your school colors or your school mascot or something for Girl Scouts, or even this, you know, just taking a regular pair of shoes and making them very Halloween, Day of the Dead. You know, even though it has this imagery on it, it can be worn any time of year. Schools are always in. So now that I have my craft attitude applied, and I mean it's nuts that it's that quick, I can go ahead and start embellishing with crystals and embellishment glue. And I like to use this Elmer's Precision Embellishment Glue. E6000 works really, really good when you're going to cover a surface and you want to cover it with crystals. But this Precision Embellishment Glue really works good if you want to put crystals in just one crystal in one place. And that's what I'm doing. So I'm going to put just a little dot of glue everywhere that I want to have the crystal. So the first one I'm going to do is my little orange ones. And this dries crystal clear, and it does work on fabric. I actually did a little fabric bag with them the other day. Now with the Crystyler, I'm just going to put my thumb on the little lever and then press down. Whoops, press down when I have it where I want the crystal applied. Now, if you get a little glue on the tip of the Crystyler, just wipe it off with a paper towel. And then, like I said, I like to do a little detail on the back, so I'm going to go ahead and put my glue there to put my one, whoops, put my one little crystal in the center on the back. So the Crystyler crystals have a little bit more thickness from, they kind of come up to a little bit more of a peak. Oops. Which is nice because on a project like this, it gives you a lot more dimension. Now, this is another glue that I have. This is new from Elmer's Craft On Fine Line Glue Pen. And what this is good for is glitter. So this pen, it actually has like a roller tip on it, so you can squeeze it and get the glue exactly where you want it to go. Whoops. And so you can actually draw lines with it. Now if you press hard, it makes more, or if you just kind of, it's like one of those markers where you press and then the ink comes out. You gently press this. It's almost like a ballpoint pen, and then the glue comes out. So what I'm going to do with this is just kind of go over some of these swirlies that are on here. And then you could do this with a paintbrush too, but then your paintbrush will be ruined. So what's nice about this is it's all inclusive. It's glue and pen, and it goes exactly where you put it. And there you have it, Day of the Dead Halloween shoes.